Hey everybody, we're taking a little pit stop here at Lake Mary. Show you around here a little bit. This is a great lake just well south of Flagstaff on Lake Mary Road, of course, or Highway 3. But this is one of the few lakes in this area where you can actually put a boat with a motor on it. And there's somebody out there fishing right now. I'll show you a little bit about this. A great place to come for the day if you got a boat, do some fishing. You can't camp here, but you can picnic here. They got an area here where you can picnic, as well as a boat launch that you can launch your boat over here. I'll show you that in just a second. So hang on, let's show you a Lake Mary picnic and boating area just south of Flagstaff on Highway 3 or Lake Mary Road.
And spend some time with you, trying hard to take some time away and have a peaceful day or two. Someday when our ship comes in, I know just what we'll do. We'll load up the motor home and have a holiday for two. We'll pack our bags and bring the dogs and have a holiday for two.
We're basically stopping here just to have some lunch and have a little picnic, have a bite to eat. We just went into Flagstaff and got groceries, took on some fuel, and that's the tricky thing. If you come up here in an RV with a trailer, finding a place to get gas can be a challenge because not all gas stations are very RV friendly, but I did manage to get in and out without doing any damage. So here's the boat launch. So as it says here, it's a day use only. If you want to camp, there is a campground that's called Lakeview, and it isn't too far up the road. I think it's just half a mile up that way. And if we get a chance, we'll go through there. But there is a campground close here, Lakeview, and back north towards Flagstaff is another campground called Canyon View. I think Canyon View Campground. But here's the kind of fish they have here. We got pike and a walleye. That's a little bit different. I don't see any trout. And they have a little restroom, a little picnic area right here. You can have lunch or whatever. Do some fishing. No camping though, no fires. And pets on leash. Okay, gotcha. Nice little restrooms. There's Lake Mary. It is a little bit low. I've seen it where it's up to that. See the white gravel right there? I've seen it where it's all the way up there, as well as up on the back there. I think there's a fee to use to launch a boat here. I'm not sure how much it is, but I'll go find out. When you're coming in, there's a little kiosk there where you can pay your fee if you're going to use the boat ramp. Listen to the wind. Our original plan was to start off at Happy Jack and work our way up to Flagstaff and then go to Williams. But the way the weather is right now, we've kind of modified that a little bit. Plus we have some friends who are going to be down in Happy Jack again, so I think we went up and got groceries and fuel, and I think what we're going to do is head back down Lake Mary Road and boondock a couple places, then catch up with them in the next weekend, because they're going to be back where we were on Happy Jack, Forest Road 135. But it is just beautiful weather. Not complaining at all. It's a little breezy today. I think we have red flag warnings for the next day or two. Now this sign says they have a limit of 4 trout, so they must have trout in the lake. Catfish and walleye. I don't see any signs about limits on horsepower. I know when this lake is full, I've seen big boats on it. Speedboats and stuff. It's a fairly long lake. It's like about 3 miles long, I think. So, how much is it? Daily Upper Lake Mary, that's where we are, $10 for 1 day. If you want to get a weekly pass, it's $15. Okay. And I believe, looks to me like if you use your America the Beautiful pass, you get a discount off that. At least that's what I understand. It doesn't say that specifically anywhere, but I'm looking here. Look at all the different ones. They've got the senior pass. That's what I have right there. Annual pass, volunteer pass. Then they have a 4th grade kids pass, and then there's a military pass. And you can use these at the parks like Grand Canyon, Yosemite, and places like that. Plus, you can use it at the campgrounds and for fees for some of the parks, like Lake Mary. A little kiosk here where you can put your credit card in and get a pass. So here it is. We're in the end of May, and the forecast for the next 5 days is below normal temperatures. So which means Flagstaff is going to be pretty cool, I should say. Even Phoenix was going to be like a high. I think Phoenix is going to be in the high 80s. 90, 89, 90 for the next couple days, which is wonderful for the end of May, especially when we're used to having 100-degree temperatures. But next week, oh boy, I told Tammy, I said, look at next week, it's already going to be 110 degrees next week. Something interesting to find out. There's a limit on consumption of northern pike, and do not eat the following fish: the walleye. So I would assume that some of these other ones are okay, like the crappie, the bass, catfish. Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm going to show you how to find Lake Mary near Flagstaff, Arizona, and a couple of the campgrounds that are in the area. So watch, I'll show you how to get there. First, when you get to Flagstaff, right in here, you're going to look for the Lake Mary Road turnoff. It's sort of in this, there it is. There's Lake Mary Road. Here's the airport. You're going to come south on Lake Mary Road and look for Upper Lake Mary Boat Launch and Picnic Area. This is where we were stopped at. And it's a nice little area here. There's also another one a little farther south that you can pull off at called the Narrow Day Use Area. So they have actually two. But I don't think this one has the boat launch. So this one actually has the boat launch. Now typically or normally Lake Mary has a lot more water in it, but it's been a drought season for the last couple of years. There was a couple of years ago where we had a lot of rain where this lake actually did fill up almost completely at 100%. As well as some of the other lakes like Marshall Lake and Mormon Lake down south of here. So that was a really good year. We had a lot of rain that winter, so that really helped. But if you come down here, let me switch to satellite. There's a couple of options if you want to do some fishing at Lake Mary, maybe come down here and do a picnic. And let's say you want to camp.
So there's a couple options. I'm going to go through these real quickly. If you want to boondock, there's Marshall Lake right up here. It's not too far from Lake Mary. You go up the road, then you're going to look for the turnoff here to the, looks like it's going up the hill. It kind of zigzags up the hill and goes to this. You can't really go into the, my mouse keeps, you can't really take tours of this observatory. This is more of an educational observatory. They use it for the college. There is one in town that you can take tours through in Flagstaff. Marshall Lake, when you get up here, there's a lot of large boondocking area here. Now, as my understanding, there have been people boondocking along the backside of I think it's Lower Lake Mary right up here, and that's been they've been trying to cut down on that. But there are a couple of established campgrounds. Let me zoom in so that you can see where they are. The closest one, if you have a small camper, trailer, or a camper van or tent, is Lakeview Campground. Let me zip on that one real quick so you can kind of see it. Nice little campground. And we didn't get a chance to actually go through it, but I think I've been there years ago. But it's a nice little smaller one. I think they have like 18, 20 sites and stuff, but it's closest to the lake. As you can see, there's some trailers there that have gotten in there. And it's just a pretty lake view because you kind of look down on the lake. All right, so that's one. Let me get out of there. And you can reserve Lakeview through Recreation.gov. I'll show you how to do that in a second. But the other campground that's a little farther up is Canyon Vista Campground. Let me zip on that one. This one's a little different. I've never been to this one, but I've heard people say they like it a lot. So let me just go through the pictures here so you can see what it looks like. And this is the campground that's a little bit farther north. It's close to Marshall Lake. And I think they call it Canyon Vista Campground because it's close to the Walnut Canyon, which is kind of like this. They call it the small Grand Canyon. It's really pretty. It's the closest one to that. So people can come here. You can camp and get spots. Have great views of the mountains and places to hike around there. A lot of it's good for tenters. I think there's a couple of spots that are big enough for motorhomes. I did see some motorhomes that were in there when we passed by a couple times. And so let me show you how to rent and reserve these. I believe even they do have some that are first come, first serve. That one actually may be first come, first serve as well as Lakeview. So we'll check in on that. But there is another campground that we stayed at called Pine Grove. And it's really funny because if you look for Pine Grove, look how the words are separated, Pine Grove. But when you look for it on Recreation.gov, you have to use this as one word. It took me a while. I had a hard time finding it on the Recreation.gov site. See, if you type Pine Grove, watch, nothing will pop up. Now watch it. It'll prove me wrong. But this is not the Pine Grove you want. All right, this is like Allegheny National Forest. If you want to go there, then that's fine. But let's go back to looking for Pine Grove as one word. That's the one you want right there. Coconino National Forest, Recreation near Flagstaff, Arizona. $34 a night. So this is the way that you can reserve these campgrounds through the Recreation.gov website. I recommend that if you don't have one already, get yourself an account, establish it so you can go right in and log in. Even if you're on your phone or a tablet and you have Wi-Fi, you can get on there and reserve campsites all across America on this. Let's go check out Lakeview. Separate word. You know what? It's not, Lake Mary Campground. Oh, that's different. Let's try Canyon Vista. If it's not showing up on here, there's Ashurst Lake. This is up near Sedona. Let's zoom in and click on that right there. See, there's Canyon Vista, $30 a night. But maybe they don't take reservations. Let's see. Well, I'll be darned. Look at that. I had to go in a roundabout way to find it. So this kind of tells you something. If you first of all, make sure you type in the word exactly like it should be. And I'm not sure if I did that. I can go back on the video and check. But sometimes you don't find things right away. It's why it's a good idea to use the map. First come, first serve. They do have sites that are available. You see all those are first come, first serve. These are reserved. These are available. Anything with an A is available for that date. So what you want to do is get on this website, type in the date that you want to go, how many days you want to be there, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, and then see if you can get a spot for 5 days. This is lucky because on here, it looks like you can get this spot for 5 days. This campsite right here, number 5, 4 days. Number 10, 4 days. Some of them are only available for 1 or 2 days. See that? First come, first serve sites, and that's Canyon Vista. And they even have a little map here you can kind of see and check out different sites. Let's go back. Let's see if I can do this without messing up my routine here. Let's go down to Lakeview, right? I think that's it right there. There we go. Lakeview Campground. Let's see what it shows for Lakeview Campground. And it looks like you could reserve those as well. And I think that might have been one of them that wasn't showing up for me for some reason. So let's see what the reservations rules are. 14-day nights during visit to the campground, so it's a 14-day stay limit. One of the nice things too is that if you book your campground through Recreation.gov, it will have a spot when you're doing your checkout where you can put your America the Beautiful Pass number in. So on the back of your card is an ID number. You're going to use that number to get your 50% off campground fee. So they do have a lot. Some of them are already reserved, some are available. If you want to get one and you want to stay there for a while and on a weekend, it might be a little hard to look for those first come, first served sites. And here's a map so you can kind of see which ones are bigger, because they do give information about each site. They give you details about how long it is, what the size of it is. Let's take a look. This one's tent, campfire allowed, and pets allowed. So this looks like more of a tent site. So that's nice to know. So that's recreation.gov. I'll put a link in the description below so you can find that one. Have fun. Hope you get a chance to come up here and see this if you've never been here. Beautiful area in northern Arizona and nice and cool in the summertime. Safe travels. Thanks for watching. Please hit the like button on your way out. Catch you later. Bye.